Today, we're going to dive deep into how the United States military systematically dismantled Venezuela's defense system step by step. Right after midnight on January 3rd, 2026, more than 150 U.S. military aircraft took off, cutting through the darkness toward Venezuela's capital. In less than 3 hours, they turned a heavily guarded regime into a sitting duck, leading to the capture of none other than Nicolás Maduro himself without a single loss on the U.S. side. This ain't no Hollywood movie script, though it sure sounds like one. This is Operation Absolute Resolve, a real-world lesson on how modern air power can flip a hybrid threat on its head. We'll start with the months-long preparation to counter Russian-supplied missiles, which were supposed to shield Venezuela's skies and protect Maduro forever in his mind. But those skies weren't locked down at all. They got blown wide open and shredded by F-35 fighter jets. So, stick around till the end to understand why this event lays the groundwork for a new wave of conflict in America's backyard, no matter where it happens across the globe. And the story doesn't stop there. Think about the drug cartels, the oil grabs, proxy wars, power vacuums, and all the players trying to flex their muscle in Venezuela right now. As of January 5th, Maduro is reportedly set to face trial any moment, and of course Russia and China are demanding his immediate release. Yeah, Russia and China, I'm sure. How about this? Russia and China, come and get him yourselves. But for me, that pre-dawn raid hit harder than a slam dunk on the basketball court. Let's kick off with the central figure of this event, because this playbook could be reused in plenty of other places. It's not just about Maduro, but let's dig a little deeper into him. Maduro has been Venezuela's president since 2013. A former bus driver turned hardline socialist leader who dodged sanctions by cozying up to drug cartels and shipping oil to Iran, Russia, and China. By mid-2025, his regime became a textbook mess of hybrid threats. Drug smuggling routes funded massive surface-to-air missile systems like the S-300VM. That's a missile system they thought could take down fourth-generation jets like the F-18. But clearly, the F-35 wasn't fazed by any of that. And that's pretty much the best advertisement ever for the F-35, as it obliterated an entire nation's defense system like Venezuela's. Venezuela also bought mid-range Buk-M2E missile systems, which can be mounted on trucks and hidden all over Caracas. They had short-range Pantsir S-1 weapons too, but those got taken out by the F-35 as well. Plus, you've got to mention small arms fire, which actually hit a helicopter, but that chopper kept going and returned safely. Still, all these threats were backed and funded by cartel operations through the regime. So, the threat isn't just hardware. It's an entire network. Chinese drones tried to spot U.S. warships. Cuban advisors operated multiple radars to protect Venezuela, but it didn't work. Then, drug cartel speedboats attempted to jam signals and scout for incoming aircraft. U.S. intelligence identified more than 40 such locations with reaction times, reportedly between 4 and 6 minutes, where these teams would try to hit helicopters. But clearly, with the planning, the F-35, and pre-planned strikes, these spots didn't stand a chance against the massive U.S. fleet, both at sea and in the air, that we witnessed. These revelations started coming out right after the operation, giving us a glimpse of what's next. Leaks from the CIA reveal a high-level mole in Maduro's inner circle provided detailed intel on 10 p.m. dinners and guard schedules at 6 to 8 safe houses. So, props to the CIA, because a lot of this success came from human intelligence. Did this person get the $50 million bounty? Well, I'm sure they wouldn't say no if it's a late Christmas gift. Then there's signals intelligence, coming from EC-135 Rivet joint aircraft, capable of mapping every command node on the battlefield to prep for the F-35 strike, providing precise coordinates of these nodes and how they'd activate when aircraft got close. We saw F-18s repeatedly edging toward the border, not too close but close enough to bait. Seeing which command nodes would light up, mapping the entire country for targets to focus on when taking out surface-to-air missiles. And I want to highlight a key but under-discussed factor: the RQ-170 Sentinel drone, able to loiter over city skies for weeks without being picked up by Venezuelan radar. By December 23rd, a secret exile deal to Turkey fell through, where Maduro planned to flee. That gave the green light for the raid. Maduro, rejecting the best deal he ever had, got this raid approved. And then, the plan really kicked into gear. But again, weather played a big role. Many operations like this have to be planned around favorable weather, because you can't have helicopters operating in thick fog or bad conditions like what we've seen in real operations. It's totally doable, but no one wants to send pilots into a tough tactical situation with small arms fire and RPG risks while dealing with harsh weather. Still, as we saw, it was a challenging night, but this operation went down based on multiple weather factors. That's why combat weather forecasting teams were involved, deciding the best timing for the operation. They're the unsung heroes behind the scenes, like the sixth man on a basketball team. But the timing also tied into oil embargo violations, as Maduro's tankers defied U.S. blockades, raking in billions of dollars for weapons from oil and cartel operations. All these connections came together for a massive strike. Pre-operation polls showed 15% of their defense systems were directly funded by cartel money. So, fentanyl and cocaine cash are essentially supplying surface-to-air missiles. Put simply, folks in the U.S. buying drugs are indirectly putting surface-to-air missiles in their own faces. Unacceptable. The death toll from the airstrikes is recorded at around 40, including 32 Cuban trainers. Will this escalate with Cuba? We'll keep an eye out as the story unfolds. As of January 5th, some satellite imagery confirmed 7 bomb craters at key bases like El Libertador Air Base, and Venezuelan state TV has gone off air, showing signs of internal cracks across the country. These weren't random strikes. They were calculated, peeling back layers and hitting the regime's weakest points, then snatching Maduro before he could react. Now, let's shift to some of the aircraft that brought down the defense system and executed the strike. These planes weren't just flying around as usual. They were the backbone of this multi-domain takedown. First, let's talk about the F-35 Lightning II, Lockheed Martin's stealth, multi-role fighter, with over 20 possibly involved, launching from the Green Mountain Boys in Vermont, and maybe some from the 33rd Fighter Wing at Eglin Air Force Base. It's powered by a Pratt & Whitney Phone 35 engine, with thrust up to 43,000 pounds, capable of supercruise at Mach 1.5 without afterburners. But the real edge is its radar cross-section smaller than a golf ball, enabling stealth missions over Venezuela, possibly at altitudes above 30,000 feet or even lower if needed, flying over Caracas and probing radar by locking targets. What they might have seen is that when they locked on, the radar couldn't detect or lock back. But as we've seen, EA-18G, F-18, and possibly F-35, though the F-35 stayed undetected during over 20 exercises, sharing sensor data via Link 16 data links, relaying everything to the Aegis combat system. The F-35 might have done multiple runs like this to figure out what to do from minute 1, spearheading by locking radar targets and taking them out, or just passing coordinates to F-18s to fire AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missiles. That's the real fangs of the mission, called SEAD, Suppression of Enemy Air Defenses. I know y'all are waiting for an acronym, and I hope you're happy with SEAD. The F-35's main job is leading, spotting all radar, relaying target coordinates to other aircraft in the strike package, maybe F-18s. That's a lethal combo. And if that's not impressive enough, we've got F-22 Raptors in the mix, possibly launching from Langley Air Force Base. They're equipped with 2 Pratt & Whitney Phone 19 engines, each producing 35,000 pounds of thrust, totaling 70,000 pounds of thrust, hitting speeds of Mach 2.25 when they need to haul. They likely handled any high-speed intercepts over international waters or Venezuelan territory. These F-22s might have been ready to take out any decoy drones or Su-30 aircraft scrambling to respond. In my opinion, they could have also carried small-diameter bombs to hit Su-30s right on the runway. Likely, they didn't want to target F-16s, because at some point, there might be a need to build a defense force for Venezuela. Not a cartel army, but a small internal defense force to protect itself. But why not take out the Su-30s and focus on F-16s later? Electronic warfare power came from the EA-18G Growler of VAQ-130, possibly a carrier-based jamming aircraft from Boeing. It uses two General Electric 414 turbofan engines with a combined thrust of 44,000 pounds. It can loiter at speeds of 500 miles per hour with ease. And it can create what I call a jamming wall, clearing a path into the country. From over 57 miles offshore, the EA-18G was there to blind X-band radar, backed by F-18E and F models carrying multiple JDAM bombs. The EA-18G and F-18E F are the workhorses of the USS Ford. For weeks, these aircraft practiced strikes along Venezuela's coast at an intense operational tempo. The pilots, maintenance crews, everyone was operating at a high intensity. But really, the core issue was getting these aircraft into the airspace, detecting radar, coordinating with the F-35, then launching high-speed HARM anti-radiation missiles. And if that's not enough, Bone B Lancers from Dias joined in. If this doesn't get your heart racing, I don't know what will. The Bone has 4 Phone 01 engines, can loiter at altitudes over 40,000 feet, and drop JDAM's Joint Direct Attack munitions to hit detected sites or command nodes tied to surface-to-air missiles. Then we've got to talk about the unmanned side, the quiet heroes of this operation. The RQ-4 Sea Triton drone can fly at 60,000 feet with a Rolls-Royce turbofan engine capable of staying aloft for 30 hours straight. It can feed info to the E-2D Hawkeye for battlefield management, then link it all with MQ-9s at lower altitudes, supporting Delta teams on the ground, providing real-time intel to ensure they don't get ambushed. Plus, coordinating with CH-47 Chinook helicopters, hauling special ops forces, ready to launch from Aruba. Performance-wise, the drone systems really delivered real-time helicopter protection. So, you clear the way with F-35s and F-18s, have B-1s in for pre-planned strikes, but you need MQ-9s overhead for real-time helicopter protection, possibly more than half a dozen guarding the choppers. On the weapons and guidance systems used to clear a massive path for this air fleet, let's talk about some key elements of the whole operation. That'd be the AGM-158JASSM Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, a long-range air-to-ground missile, launchable from F-35s or B-1s. They can fly from distances up to 287 miles, then dive in to destroy 300 batteries. The S-300 radar can't handle this stealth cruise missile. Nothing Venezuela has right now could take them down. These missiles can even be adjusted mid-flight automatically via Link 16 data links from the F-35. Say a mobile truck is moving, real-time info can be relayed to the AGM-158. For flexibility, nothing beats having pilots in a strike package carrying JDAM bombs on their aircraft. F-35 pilots carry 500-pound JDAMs. F-18 pilots carry 5 to 100 or 1,000-pound ones. Basically, they can be tasked in real time, diving in to hit targets, adapting and adjusting right in the cockpit to decide which target to redirect to. Hard to beat that, even with some AI and automation. Though all that's important, for anti-radar work, it's all about the AGM-88 HARM. Diving in, hitting various radars, basically able to detect any radar that lights up and then strike it with the AGM-88. That's unbeatable in a situation like this. Then the MQ-9 Reaper also has Hellfire missiles, not just able to spot ambushes, but to strike ambushes they see trying to set up RPGs to down helicopters. Basically, radar operators might be glowing by now if they haven't been hit yet, because there's so much radar energy and jamming flooding them from the EA-18G and F-35. Not to mention some jamming capabilities of drones like the RQ-4C, RQ-170 Sentinel, in real time able to jam and coordinate with the E-2D Hawkeye to orchestrate the whole jamming operation from 100 miles out. And as we've heard from the Trump administration, there were some power outages in Venezuela. So there might have been cyber attacks on energy infrastructure to take down part of the energy grid powering the Integrated Air Defense System, IADS. Then it looks like AH-64 Apache helicopters were also in play to take out any forces trying to hit Delta teams as they rappelled in. And for me, the coolest thing is Delta teams dropping in while having F-22s, F-35s, these giants of the U.S. Air Force and Navy protecting them from above. That's unbeatable. Giving the warriors, the helicopter pilots, the special pilots from the 160th, the ability to focus on their job, knowing they've got air cover. I'll walk you through how this might have gone down, putting you in the cockpit of an F-35 at the tip of the spear. Maybe their call sign is Venom 1, launching from Puerto Rico, flying over the sea, refueling, then heading toward Venezuela's coast with a formation of 8 F-35s, approaching around 2 a.m. local time. Your engine's running smooth, everything feels good. All the different sensors are active. You're getting real-time data fed into the cockpit from RQ-4C Triton and RQ-170 drones. You reach a Combat Air Patrol (CAP) point, and you wait. You wait for the green light when everything kicks off. Cyber attacks hit, collapsing city infrastructure. Then you dive in with pre-planned strikes ready to go. Some in your formation are just waiting for surface-to-air radar to light up, because that's your #1 job. Take out pre-planned surface-to-air missile positions. Take them out, and you clear the way for helicopters coming in, about 10 to 30 minutes behind you, with coordinates already prepped. So, you dive in, launch AGM-158s from your aircraft, then wait for radars to pop up. You spot them and direct F-18s to strike with HARM missiles. You're tightly linked via data links with all other strike packages. The EA-18G Growler talks directly to your aircraft. You talk directly to the RQ-170 and know exactly every threat in your area of operations. Each F-35 formation might have its own area of operations, where they focus on ensuring that in that zone, nothing lights up and nothing's alive to take down any helicopters that might come in. Then in real time, as Delta teams are moving through, you've got to make sure you're overhead, looking for any RPGs, looking for any teams moving in the night trying to ambush these helicopters. So, as soon as the pre-planned strikes happen, your job as an F-35 pilot isn't over. Your job is really just beginning. Now, you really have to look at the various sensors, coordinate with Link 16, all the combat systems out there to ensure you're aware if any system lights up and tries to hit the helicopters. But this is a masterclass in air dominance and SEAD, suppression of enemy air defenses. There's really nothing better than this. This will likely be studied for decades at U.S. Air Force academies. Hope y'all enjoyed this breakdown. Where do you think we're headed from here? What's going to happen in the power vacuum in Venezuela? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And do you think this system, this formula, this playbook could be used elsewhere in the world? Let me know what you think. I'll do a full video on the Delta team insertions and how they coordinated with the F-35s, F-22s, and drones, but I'll save that for a follow-up video.